What it is, YouTube. You know who it is. It's your boy, the Moose Squad. Let's kick. The stars are light, are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas. Okay, that worked. Alright, so I got this one, this video. I want you to check this one out. I'm going to go in depth with clipping. This is for T-Baz, DJ T-Baz. Okay, so this is for you. Okay, so I'm going to explain everything to you, and I hope you enjoy it. You're not going to hear no sound, but you're going to get the idea. So I hope you, well, you're going to hear me talk, but you're not going to hear the music. Just to let you know, there's no music. And I'll explain it in the video, but without further ado, let's go ahead and hit it. Okay, so let me show you this real quick. Alright, so we got the F7 USB working to the standard. Now we're going to show you, I got my Yamaha MG10 plugged in and all ready to go. And I'm going to show you how I deal with peaking. Now, when you plug the speakers in and everything else, it gives a better idea of how this works. But people are sleeping. They work at night. So what I'm going to do, my wife specifically, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and show you Rump Shaker without the music. Let's go ahead and play Rump Shaker. Okay, so let me flip you around. As you can see, Rump Shaker is playing in B track. So let's come down here to B track and let's see what we got going. Okay, so now B track is doing right. What we're gonna do is we're gonna throw it off. We're gonna turn the gain up. Look, you see it? By just turning the gain up this way a little bit, look what happens. It starts to peak. Okay, now I'm going to show you this too. So let's go ahead and put it on beat all the way. And it didn't show in here. So hopefully we can get this to work on the other side. We'll turn the volume up a little bit and see what happens over here on the other side. So that's turned up here. Let's go ahead and see this. Okay. Okay, there we go. See it? You really can't see it. The light is flickering. 3 is flickering. See it? It's flickering? Yeah. It's peaking. What we can do is oh, there you go. See how I turned it up? Okay. So this is something you don't want. Okay. I ain't got no pollutant. My speakers ain't, it's plugged in, but it's on the floor. So I'm not going to blow a speaker. Okay, so this will blow your speaker. That will blow your speaker. So how do we adjust this? So what we're going to do is we're going to turn down the gain. We don't need the gain. But, look, it's got a gain set right here. Okay, now look where we are at here. You see it? And we're volume all the way up. Now, the light stopped blinking. But what we're going to do is we're going to take this high and we're going to turn it all the way up to the middle. To the middle? To the middle. I'm sorry that my board is dirty. I ain't had the time to clean it because I was outside the other day, so. And then I put this here and I leave it there. If this starts to blink, and number 3, I leave it here, and if it starts to blink, I can always change this to here. But this little arrow right here is what you want to put it on. Now, if something really happens, I can always change the gain up here. Which normally, if I put the gain down here, and then I can put it up to about here. If I put it up to here, they're going to tell me to turn it down. So I have to actually put the gain down to here. Set right here. Okay. Now, when I'm over here, see, it's still peaking. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this trim And we're going to put the trim over here like this. Okay, at 11. Now look at it. And this is all the way up. But I don't use my volume all the way up. What I do is I take my volume and I put it right about there. And that's where I leave my volume. My volume here does never go up. It never goes up. It always stays the same. Now B goes to A. Now watch. If I put it over here, you're not going to hear nothing. Now I know that it's still blinking, but the fader, and put the fader right there, and you're good to go. So this is basically how I set my board, how I set everything. I leave this alone. If I need extra, see, this is one thing that I want to share with you. I don't never touch the trim. I leave it usually right where it is. I never touch a trim. The master, I might adjust the master just a little bit, but I leave the master right there. I don't need to touch the master. Look, the song's over, but let's go ahead and play it again. So look, I'm barely getting in the 3. Even if I turned it all the way up, I'm still barely touching 3. You see the difference? And when this comes out of the speaker, it sounds crystal clear. When you start to peak, this is the deal. When you go in a red, when you go and you put your speakers in red, the speakers in red are going to hurt the ears. The music's going to be distorted. So keeping it out of the red and the peak, you're going to have a better sound in music. The microphones, when you use the microphones, you need to adjust them accordingly. Because what happens is you get a microphone, you turn it on, you just this, right? You test everything. What you do, I notice this, I do the same thing. You never test a microphone behind your setup. Go in front of your setup and test the microphones there. If you test your microphones behind the setup, you're not going to hear what they're going to hear. You're going to hear what you want to hear. And if it sounds good to you, then you're going to go ahead and do it. Don't yell into the speaker, into the microphone. You don't need to. If you're yelling, then you need to adjust your stuff. You're gonna have to play with the board and get it to where you don't have to yell. Now, a lot of people, when they put the microphone, a lot of people stick the microphone up to their mouth, but technically, you don't need to. Technically, you're supposed to keep the microphone down to about here. And you're supposed to be able to hear it in the thing. But 95% of the people, when they do, they put the microphone right to their mouth. And guess what? That's where everything starts. So, proper gain, proper volume on your whole setup. Now, if you are running a DJ controller straight into the speaker, then that changes. You'll actually going to have to, because you're going to peak in your speaker. Depends on where your speaker's set. I can add the speaker in later. I'm not going to, because they wanted to know why the gain was red. And that's why. Because frequencies, turning your frequencies correctly on the board and everywhere will set it, and you can forget it. You don't have to turn it up. Now you can actually turn your speakers up and they'll sound good. And your speakers also have a clip. So what you're going to do on your speakers, now most of them do have equalizers and all that other good stuff. But what you're going to do is you're going to go do the speaker the same way you just did this. But what you're going to do is you're going to start with your DJ controller. Then you're going to go to your soundboard, if you go through a soundboard. And then you're going to go to the speaker. And then you're going to adjust the speaker the same way. And then you're going to get in front of the speaker and you're going to talk with the microphone, and you're going to actually listen to the music. And what you're going to do is you're not going to just stand there right in front of the speakers. You're going to go around the venue that you're at, and you're going to listen and listen. And that is basically how you're going to adjust your speakers and your setup. Remember, always do this. Get there, make sure you do a sound check. Always do a sound check. If the patrons are telling you it's loud, you tell them give you a minute, you're going to get them set, and you're going to set it so you can forget it. So I hope this helps. It might help a lot of people, but I will tell you this. Setting the gains at the proper, you don't want them red. You don't want them blinking red. You just want it in the green. If you can get this and keep this, if you can keep this in the green and not have to, if you can keep that from going on like that, if you can keep it from going like this, you can keep it going like this, you can keep it from going like that and staying like this, you'll make a perfect. Now, you notice it's clipping a little yellow. Everyone's going to see it. So I'm going to turn it down just a little more. See, all I did was mess with this. I didn't mess with the master sound. Now, like I said, my board's dirty because it's been outside. And I haven't had time since Alzheimer's event to clean it. But then I keep this right here. And look at this pretty. This is pretty. This is Christmas tree. When it goes that Christmas tree, you know you're in trouble. You'll blow a speaker soon, quick, and in a hurry. So I hope this really helps keeping your gain at a certain length, wavelength, a certain height, or I call it a certain temperature. If you keep your gain at a certain temperature, or your trim at a certain temperature, you won't peak anywhere, and your speakers will sound crystal clear. If you peak and you go in a red, that's the danger zone. I hope this video helped. I tried to appease to all my audiences. So if you have any more questions, I will answer. Give me a few minutes. Sometimes it may take me the day of or the day after to go ahead and post the video. So if you do leave a comment below, I read all my comments. So go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and ring that beautiful bell for more notifications for beautiful videos like this and countless others to see my beautiful face. I'm just kidding. And subscribe, like, subscribe, and go ahead and double deuces.